Hey, what's up? My name is Julian. I was the director of photography on Lorelei, the winner of the Jakob Owens Horror Short Film Contest 2024. In case you haven't seen the film yet, I highly encourage you to do so because it's very cool, we're super proud of it, and it's linked in the description below. So the film's out there for a month now, and we've been getting a lot of positive reaction from you guys, and I just want to say thank you for taking your time, for watching it, for reaching out to us. It really means the world. I mean, you get creative, you put a lot of work into these sort of things, and yeah, it's just amazing. Thank you so much. A lot of people seem to enjoy the way the film was shot, so I thought it would be cool to make a video about the cinematography and break down some of the scenes and our creative approach. Yeah, and take you through the process a bit. So it's gonna be interesting. But before I start to break down some of the scenes, let me tell you something about our team in general, because 80% of us are working in this film production company in my hometown. So we had access to a film studio, we had access to some of their gear, and the most important thing, to a dolly. And I can't point out enough how important the dolly was to this production, because we had 90% of the shots were dolly shots on tracks, so we had this super smooth movement, and I could sit on the dolly and properly operate the camera, pan and tilt and erect the focus and stuff like that. And if we would have gone handheld or with a gimbal, the entire movie would feel so different. So this was like, if there was some sort of cheat code to this production, it would have been the dolly. Speaking of gear, we shot the film on my Red Komodo X that I'm using right now to tape this video, and two anamorphic lenses, the Greatjoy anamorphics, 50mm and 35mm, that's taping right now, and an old and cheap spherical lens, a Valimax 14mm. It's like $300 15 years ago, and I think it's Rockinon or Samyang in the US. When my wife Sophie, who directed the movie, and I were talking about possible lenses, she said she wanted to shoot anamorphic. And when I asked her why, she said she wanted to have this wide field of view, but also maintain this claustrophobic feel to the images, especially in the tight spaces. That was just the perfect reason and explanation as to why she wanted to go with that, and this is why we went with these lenses. Yeah, so with no further ado, let's just jump into the timeline and take a look at the film. Yeah, the entire opening sequence of her swimming is the perfect showcase of why dollies are amazing. You know, you have this stability and this weight to the shots, and you can maintain perfect framing and stuff like that. I just love it. By the way, in the entire swimming pool section in the afternoon, we had no additional lighting. It was all just daylight, and we went with that. And here we are at the party. We didn't have any extras, so yeah, we needed to use everyone in the crew who wasn't pushing or holding anything. But Sophie did a terrific job in directing everyone and choreographing the scene in a way that gives you like a sense of a bigger party going on around the camera, maybe behind the camera, and the sound design would add to that, Love this shot because it's like so reminiscent of David Lynch and Twin Peaks and the Laura Palmer Scream. The best coffee at the Double R's.
Sorry, I've never drank alcohol before.
Sorry, what did you say?
Fuck, I'm wasted.
I've never drank alcohol before.
I've never drank alcohol before. It was like the sentence that had to be in the film. Due to the contest rules. We thought it would be fun to make him say that he's an exchange student.
I'm an exchange student!
Because we're all talking English with this harsh and terrible German accent. So we felt that we need to explain why we're talking like that. In order to get this shot, we built like a special rig in the studio with a camera coming from above, and when she falls down like backwards, the camera would like fall with her. It didn't really work out because we could still see the rig at the edges of the frame, and I had to mask these edges out. You didn't see the camera falling anymore because you had no reference of room or perspective in the frame. If I could do it again, I would choose like a different location to shoot that and use like a different backdrop so you could see like the perspective shift actually happening. When we had short breaks, Paul or some guy would run around with his boom and the recorder and record every sound you can imagine. Just the room sounds. He would like scratch doors. He would push like metal locker doors and get the sound of the water. So many of his actually recorded sounds from on location were used in the sound design, and that's pretty cool, I think. You know, I just love these shots. They don't add to the story that much, but they create this atmosphere of this liminal space. I thought it would be fun to, reference the Insidious movies with the teal color. I think it was 2 or 3 tube lights from above, but also I wanted to create some more depth, so I blasted a 600C with the orange color through the glass tiles up here to create some sort of, street light from outside. In general, I was very surprised by how few lights we used. I thought when we were going into this public pool, you had to use like a lot of light in order to make the scenes work, but we had just the 600C and 3 or 4 light tubes on C-stands that were coming from above, and that's it. This segment is gonna be my favorite segment of the entire movie because I just love what the camera does. I love, the camera movement. I love the lighting, the rhythm, how the camera reacts to the cues in the acting and the sound and stuff like that. And it feels like it's one long shot, but it's actually 4 shots stitched together because we couldn't do it in one shot.
Kamera läuft. Und? 3, 2, 1, jetzt.
This pillar was in the way, so we needed to offset the tracks for 2 meters or something, get this shot and make a fast pan to the right, like a crash pan. There's a cut hidden in the pan. When you pan over, we're suddenly in between the lockers. And the same trick with these 2 shots. We pan over, and now we're at the other side of the pillar. Would have been cool in one shot, but I think it works just as good. This is my favorite shot of the entire movie because floating ghosts coming towards the camera, they just give me the creeps every time. And I always wanted to do that. And we were pretty lazy on collecting proper behind the scenes material, so I can't show you how we did that, but we used that track system for the talent before on a commercial shoot I had, and it's basically the same trick. When we were talking about the red color scheme, the red lighting scheme, when the lights go back on, we thought about it as, another level of possession. The green is like, okay, something's happening, but now that everything's going red, things get serious and the demon is about to really like throw her down and take her entirely. And there's the red light again, you know, she's fully possessed, there's no turning back.
Are you okay?
Come in.
Gives me goosebumps every time, you know, that the way her smile falls apart, it's so scary. She's so good. Janine, she did such an amazing job playing this role, and I've worked with her before on music video projects for her band. It's called All the Ghosts. It's amazing music. They're not out yet, but you're in for a treat. And you know, she's like the nicest and, you know, softest and quietest person you can imagine. But when she's in front of a camera, she's this, you know, she becomes a different human being. She's amazing. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you for sticking around. This was, yeah, less a breakdown than more my personal feelings to the shots. I hope it was interesting for you guys anyway, and I see you next time.